I'm Jeff Philbin, and this is Dinner DeeAs, bringing you a whole week of the best burgers, whatever you're hungry for. I guarantee you I can grill it and stick it in a bun. Today, we're making a meat-free meal, my smoky black bean burger and a simple side of street corn salad. Who says grilling is just for weekends and holidays? All this week, I'm sharing my favorite burger recipes, and while they're mostly meat, today I'm sharing a plant-based option. Not just for that one vegetarian friend, but one good enough for everyone to eat. And yes, there's a lot of imitation meat burgers out there on the market, but a lot are considered ultra-processed. With my recipe, it's ingredients that you can pronounce, and it's whatever veggies you want to eat, hide them in there for the kids. But it's so easy and so quick to do. And with black beans, it's high in protein and fiber, lower in saturated fat and cholesterol, and gives the gut a nice little break from breaking down some animal protein. So we're gonna get into the burger patty in just a little bit, but let's have a really great side to go with this. Since we're gonna have black bean burgers, one of the greatest pairings is always black beans and corn. So let's have some fun with a street corn salad here. So all I wanted to do here is I've got a frozen bag of corn. You at home, if you wanted to get an ear of corn and fire up the grill and get the char marks for it, go right ahead. You want to boil it too? You do what you want with that one. Or, hey, I had a bag of corn in the freezer, and how can I be able to kind of jazz it up a little bit? Here's how. We got a hot pan here. I've already let our corn thaw out, so that way then I can be able to not have frozen corn hit inside this pan here. I've got a hot pan with just a little bit of oil. This corn is already thawed out, and I'm just going to drop them into our pan. Now, there's still going to be a little bit of moisture that's coming off our corn. In that process, when they are bagged, they're going to have water to form that nice little bit of ice, so that way then they can have a better shelf life. We've let that thaw out, so you're not gonna get that, but you're still gonna have a little bit of that moisture on that corn. All I wanna be able to do here is just get a little bit of that moisture to release, evaporate out, and to get a nice little bit of color and sear off of that corn, while also bringing in a layer of texture. Because that corn was going to be nice, soft, here, I'm actually making it a nice little char that's gonna bring a little bit of crunch back to it. Just give it a little bit of a toss, and you can see a couple of the kernels starting to get a little bit of that brown there. And that's what you're looking for, and you can always keep adding to that level of char that you want. We're gonna jump up our heat just a little bit here. And while this finishes up a little bit here, we're gonna start with that black bean patty here. I need to have something that's gonna bring all of our ingredients together and still have a means to say, hey, this is a healthy burger here. Quinoa is a great addition to this burger. It's super high in fiber, super high in protein, and what's really nice about this is that it's gonna bring everything together. So all I did here is I'm cooking it like you would rice. 2-to-1 ratio here, 2 cups of water to 1 cup of quinoa. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up to a boil, and you can already start seeing them starting to float up to the top and starting to blossom and bloom here. But what I want to just do is bring that to a boil, and once I get to that boil, I can put the lid on and drop it to a simmer. To make this salad or the burger we're about to do, grab my recipes at our website, dinnerdeas.com. Find us fastest by using your phone, opening the camera app, and pointing it over at the TV, but down in the bottom left-hand corner. That black and white square is our QR code, and when your phone sees it in camera, a link to us will pop right up. All right, I'm starting to see that boil, so I'm just gonna put that lid on and let that be. Now we've got our corn over here, got beautiful color. Let's change the texture a little bit, and this is exactly where I want to be. I'm gonna take that and remove that off of our heat, while then I start working in our ingredients. Now I'm gonna start with just getting a little bit of a base for my liquids and what's going to really kind of bring it all together. We've got a little bit of some sour cream here. A little bit of some mayo. Some lime juice. And what I want to do here next is I want to bring this part together. This makes it a little bit easier for all of my other ingredients to be folded into it. So we're just going to blend all of that later on, that corn to it. But I want to get my mayo to mix with my sour cream and that lime juice to make it a little bit more liquidy. I take my corn now, dump that straight in. Got a little bit of some cotija cheese. I love the cotija cheese. It's nice and salty. Beautiful, beautiful cheese to work with. A little bit of some chili powder. And what I really love about this is some fresh cilantro. I'm gonna put a little bit of some salt and pepper. And what's really nice about this dish here, it's really simple. It's really clean. And what's nice too is that when you're entertaining for all your friends and your family that are coming over, you could do this, put it into the fridge, let that be, and you can come back to it a little bit later. We're just gonna toss all these ingredients together. And that's it. This is it. It's done. Now let's see how this bad boy tastes right now. It's creamy. It's got that saltiness because of the cotija cheese behind it. That lime just kind of brings it all together there. Out of this world fantastic. Now this salad's gonna go into the fridge until we're ready to use it. And while the quinoa cooks, we're taking a break. When we come back, my DIY black bean burger and how to get all the taste with none of the meat. Ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs, bringing you burger after burger all week long as we celebrate the handheld hero of grilling season. Today we're making them minus the meat as I share my recipe for a smoky black bean burger plus a street corn salad. Before the break, we cooked up quinoa we're about to use in the burgers, then toasted some frozen corn for our salad, mixing it with mayonnaise, sour cream, lime juice, cotija cheese, chili powder, cilantro, and seasoning with just a little salt and pepper, and then letting it sit in the fridge while we do our burgers. Now the quinoa is done. I've already let this cool for a little bit because I'm going to be using my hands in a little bit. So I let that come up, I let that cook to its proper, and you can see it's kind of puffed up a little bit, which is exactly what it needs to do, and it's cool enough for my hands to touch, which is what I really want. I have a can of black beans. This is really simple to be able to do. When you're thinking of going to the shelf and getting the frozen black bean burgers, yeah, those are great, they're fantastic, they're good. But here, you can have all the fun and jazz it up the way that you want to. And all I'm doing is just taking a masher and just mashing them down a little bit. Now, this is really good because it gives me some surface area, but because of the shape of this one here, what's gonna happen is that I'm going to possibly not get all of that. So you can use a spoon to kind of do a little bit of the pushing in. You can also use a fork, which is also really good too. So if you don't have a masher, you can use a spoon, you can use a fork, and just apply that pressure in to create a nice, smooth consistency that brings everything together. And you can kind of see right here in the center there, where it's really starting to kind of make like a paste almost. That's kind of what you want. But I want to be able to have some of that texture as well. So you don't want to just do everything. You want to just get enough so you can know that this was black beans. Sometimes what happens is that it will start to kind of collect on the top, and all you want to just do, give it a nice little tap on the side and work. You'll know that it's kind of done because what's going to happen, it almost changes like a little bit of color. As the light kind of hits it, it almost becomes almost like a purple. And so that means that I can kind of take it from the bottom, make sure that I've taken a spoon to kind of bring everything to the top. I still see some of those black beans in there, which is going to be nice because it gives those nice little bit of texture. And again, makes me know that this was a black bean burger and that it's also handmade. That's the really fun part about this one here. We're going to throw our quinoa in. And what this is going to do is going to jam-pack that protein. It's also going to help bring some more body behind this burger. And when we're speaking of body, we need also a nice little bit of a bind. So we're going to bring in some breadcrumbs. We're going to bring in 1 egg. some red onion. And this is where you get to have as much fun as you want. If you want to say, hey, I don't like red onions, you don't need to do that. You want to put some fire roasted tomatoes in there? Go right ahead and do that. Go right ahead and do that. We're going to add a little bit of garlic powder. And this is where we're kind of getting into some of my favorite flavors over here. Garlic powder, a little bit of some cumin, a little chili powder. And one of the stars that's always like in a dish at the house right here, it's going to be paprika. I love smoked paprika. I love that it just brings everything together. And because this is a smoky black bean burger, this is where that starts to really come into play here. We're going to also bring in some fresh cilantro. And we're just going to bring all of our ingredients together. We've got that egg that you can start seeing mix in. And I want to just kind of scrape the sides to make sure that I got all of those spices that might have just been around. And instead of being around, they're going to be inside. I want to make sure that that quinoa comes together with those black beans. That breadcrumb starts to take all of that moisture, that liquid, and starts to absorb a little bit of it. So that way then it's just not going to be soupy and messy, because once it hits this pan, and I like to use a pan for this burger because I can control it. I can keep all of that burger together. By keeping it together on a nice skillet, it stays intact and I can form that crust. You could put this out to a grill pan, but my concern would be sometimes it might break. So a nice cast iron pan is what you're going to need, and it's super hot right now. To make this smoky black bean burger for yourself and the salad I did earlier, recipes for both, along with all the amounts, the ingredients, and directions are at our website, dinnerdeas.com, or you can scan the QR code down there to find us on your phone. All right, we're going to just take this. We got this at about a medium heat here. We're just going to put a nice little bit of oil inside our pan here. We're going to work it all the way around. And then we're just going to take a nice little patty. I'm just taking a nice little bit. We got about a golf ball size here, a little bit more than just that. And I'm just going to go right into my oil. And form nice little patties here. Nice little golf ball size here. And what I want to do first is I want to kind of get a nice little bit of crust on that bottom here before I start shaping, forming, and getting more of that patty out of it. So right now, all I want to do, get the next one in. And about 5 minutes per side is what you're looking for here. You want to make a nice little crust and bring this all together. And let's get that last one right there. A little bit extra there. Now I'm going to keep an eye on these during the breaks since there's only just me here. After which I hope that you're going to come back and join me for a quick condiment to complement these beautiful burgers. Ahead on Dinner Diaz. Welcome back to Dinner Diaz, with ideas for dinner that you can hold in your hand all this week, as I'm sharing a different burger idea every day. Today, we go plant-based with a healthy homemade smoky black bean burger, plus a side of street corn salad. Before the break, I took the cooked and drained quinoa and let it cool, then mashed some black beans and combined the two, adding breadcrumbs, egg, some smoked paprika, cumin, chili powder, garlic powder, salt, cilantro, and red onion. Then made them into rough patties and got them into our skillet. Now they've been cooking only for about one side, 5 minutes or so on each side is what we're looking for here. And look at that nice crust that's been forming here on this side here. Get that nice one there. Oh, that's nice. And you know, what's nice, ooh, that one was right there. Now with this here, this is going to be perfect. Now these are going to break a little bit. They're going to move a little bit, as you just kind of saw that flip on that last one there, just because I was on the corner there. So I think that needed a little bit more. But if it's not going to be the perfect burger shape, that's okay. Your bun is going to be able to hide that piece to it there, and all of the other ingredients are going to be perfect to what you want them to be as a great sandwich, okay? So sometimes if that happens, that's okay. Now, I'm using whole wheat buns. I want to be able to kind of keep the theme alive going here with the idea of high in protein, high in fiber, and really eating something a little bit healthier. So a little bit of butter, just a little bit. I mean, still got to have a little bit of flavor. With a whole wheat bun. I got my grill pan, just so that way I can get a little bit of some color, some of those marks. To grab the recipe for my smoky black bean burger plus the street corn salad, go to dinnerdeas.com or just scan the QR code in the corner of the screen to find us with your phone. Now, we've got a paprika that's inside our burger patty mix, which is really, really great. It's going to bring a nice smokiness behind it. But what also can help with bringing even more smokiness is a little bit of a chipotle sauce. So I'm going to just take just that. I've got one chipotle pepper that's in the adobo sauce, and I'm going to take a little bit of that adobo sauce, pour it into a bowl here. Now, you can kind of go as much as you want or as little as you want. Now, I like to have that smokiness. I also like to have a little bit of the heat. So this is going to have a nice little bit of a punch behind it, but I find great flavor in this. And all I'm just doing is just doing a rough mincing here. Now, if you want to make this smooth, you could put this into a blender, you could put this into a food processor, or you could just do what I just did, which is a nice little bit of that rough mince, which is nice. We've got a little bit of some lime zest that's going to go in there as well. And all I'm just doing is just rolling my lime just to that point where it starts to come through and you start seeing that pith there gets white. That's where I'm just going to stop. With that same lime, cut it right down the middle, and get that juice into it. Very nice. We're going to take just a little bit of some mayo. And just bring this all together. I can start smelling that getting toasty, so I know that my buns are going to be perfect. Now, what I did, because I did that mince, is I have some of that texture of that pepper in there. That's why I like. Now, but if you don't want that and you want to make this ultra smooth, again, a Vitamix is absolutely perfect. We're going to hit it with just a little bit of some salt and pepper. Give it one last stir here. Ooh, that's nice. That's going to go really, really good with a nice little bit of a pepper jack cheese. That's going to go straight onto our burger and start melting away. That together, the pepper jack cheese, that nice little bit of sauce, match made in heaven. One last break remains before we build these into a neat meat-free treat. How to get it all between your buttery buns when we come back ahead on Dinner Deas. Welcome back to Dinner Deas. Burger Week gets into gear as we go meat-free and make my smoky black bean burger plus a side of street corn salad. And it looks fantastic, ready to all come together on our plate. So we're gonna just take a nice little bit of our salad here, and what I'm gonna do, put it right here at the top. I'm gonna put that right at the top here. Kind of like where you say 12 o'clock for you watching this. We're gonna sprinkle just a little bit of some extra cilantro right on top while I take our buns. Our buns here are just that nice whole wheat bun. And because I use the grill pan, I got nice grill marks behind it. We're gonna just get a nice lathering of this really nice smoky chipotle mayo here. Nice little kick of some lime in there. You're gonna make sure you get top and bottom. Maximum bite flavor coming through from the top and the bottom, because like no one wants a dry burger bite. They want a nice one. So that's going to go on. Next, we're going to put our lettuce. We're going to go right there. Now I'm using shaved lettuce for this one here. I like the shaved lettuce for this because it's just a little bit fun, and it also can puff up a little bit to bring the height. Because this burger patty is a little bit flatter, this is going to help give a little bit elevation. I'm thinking of that as I am kind of plating. We're going to take our patty right on top like so. Sit that right on top of our lettuce. And then we've got some nice avocado slices. Avocado slices are going to go right on top of our burger here. A nice 3. And in between those avocados, I'm going to put a nice little bit of some pickled jalapenos. Now these are really easy to find, just like you could have found the chipotle peppers and the adobo sauce in the international section at your grocery store. You're going to find the same thing there with those pickled jalapenos, and they go really, really well for this entire burger. It just kind of brings this nice little juxtaposition of flavors and brings it all together. Oh, that looks so good. Look at that. Oh, and you're eating healthy, my friends. Don't forget, the recipe for this smoky black bean burger and this quick salad are both at dinnerdeals.com. Just scan the QR code down there to find us. And if you make it, send me a photo so I can see how yours stacks up. I'm Jeff Philbin. See you next time with more ideas for dinner, as we call them, Dinner Diaz.